Hello. Am I audible? Hello, good evening, my dear students. Good evening. Welcome back. Myself, Amala. Okay, so GoScore is the fastest moving edtech in GCC, and as you know, here we are discussing the previous year question paper today, that is discussion 2024. Okay, 2024, as you know, there will be 5 sets of question paper. Among that, we will be extracting some different important questions, and today we will be discussing on that. Okay, so my dear students, we have seen certain questions last time, and now we'll be continuing with that. Okay, so I'm going directly into the question. Why? Because we have a less span of time. We have to complete the question and answers as much as possible. Okay, so this is the first question. So you might read the question at first. Okay, so what is the first question? Consider the following statements. Okay, so what is the first question or first statement? It is to consider the statement. They have given certain statements, and here you have to read the statement. Okay, what is the statement given here? The sex of a child is determined by what it inherits from the mother. That is the first statement. Second statement. What is the second statement? The second statement is the sex of a child is determined by what it inherits from the father. Okay. Then the third statement. What is the third statement? The probability of having a male child is more than that of a female child. Then fourth statement, the sex of a child is determined at the time of fertilization when the male and female gamete fuse to form a zygote. So this part is actually about, we can see, it is like the third chapter, that is reproduction in different organisms. Okay, so reproduction in different organisms is the chapter. So understand, always we have learned about how the sex of a child will be determined in the fetus. Okay, so it clearly depends upon, see what is the, if male, how can male be represented? Male can be represented as XY, the chromosomes present in male is XY, and if in the case of females, okay, what is in the case of females? In the case of females, it is XX. Okay, so when it comes to the gametes, when it produces a gamete, X and Y will be the gamete here, and here X is the gamete. X is the only gamete produced inside the egg. Okay, so when the sex is determined, when this sperm is combined with this egg. Okay, when a sperm is combined with egg, what is the progeny produced? XX is the progeny produced, and here XY is the progeny produced. Okay, XY is the progeny produced. So if X and X is produced, or if X and X gametes are combined together, that baby will be a girl, and if X and Y is combined, then that baby will be a boy baby. Okay, that baby will be a boy baby. Okay, so what is the correct statement? So here it is clearly asked about how the sex is determined at the first two statements, and third statement, it is about to say the probability of having a male child is more than that of a female child. Okay, so when comparing to this, you can clearly understand the probability of a girl child to be formed is 50%, and the probability of a boy child to be formed is also a 50%. Okay, so that statement is wrong. Okay, then next first statement, check whether it is correct or not. The sex of a child is determined by what it inherits from mother. Okay, what it inherits from mother. So it is actually, the sex of a child is actually determined by father. If father is producing the Y chromosome, the next generation will be the boy baby. Okay, so we could say that the sex of child is determined by what it inherits from its father. Okay, so first statement is wrong, first statement is wrong, second statement is correct, and third statement is wrong. Whereas in the case of fourth statement, that is, let's say the sex of child is determined at the time of fertilization when male and female gametes fuse to form a zygote. That's a correct statement. You know that, right? So the sex of a child. See, when does the sex is determined? The sex is determined only when the gametes are fused together. Okay. When does the sex is determined? The sex is determined only when the gametes. Okay, this is the gamete. So when the gametes is fused together, this is the male gamete and this is the female gamete. So when the male and female gamete is produced or fused together, fertilization occurs, and that leads to the what we could say the determination of the sex, and of course a zygote is formed. Okay, so this is the first question. So what is the answer here? The correct answer here is 2 and 4. Okay, the correct options are 2 and 4. So you got the answer, right? Did you get the answer? Did you get the answer? Okay, so fine. So we'll be moving to the next question. We'll be moving to the next question. So what is the next question? What is the next question? See, chromosomes. Okay, so chromosome carry hereditary information from parents to next generation. Okay, that is the first statement given. What is the second statement? Chromosomes are thread-like structures located inside the nucleus of an animal cell. Third statement, always exist in pairs in human reproductive cells. Fourth statement, are involved in the process of cell division. These are the 4 statements given. Okay, so let's see each and every statement which is given. So first statement, let's cross check. Chromosomes carry hereditary information from parents to the next generation. Okay, so you know what is chromosome? There is DNA, right? There is DNA present in our body. So this is the DNA present and this is the DNA present and this DNA along with the proteins, histone proteins. Okay, so this we will learn in the next upcoming classes, but you have a basic idea that DNA is chromosome structures. Okay, it is combined, it is set together to form the structure as along with the protein. These structures are known as chromosome. Okay, these structures are known as chromosome. So it carries. What is the function of DNA? You know what is the function of DNA, right? DNA, it inherits the molecules or the genetic makeup. Okay, the genetic makeup of the parents to the next generation. So we could say that it is a hereditary material. Okay, it is a hereditary material. Clear? Okay, it is the hereditary material. DNA is the hereditary material where it contains all the genetic information. Okay, where it contains all the genetic information and this genetic information is being passed into the next generation. Okay, these characters are the characters of the parents will be given to the next generation. Is it clear? Is it clear? So that statement, whether what we are discussing whether this statement is correct or not. Okay, whether the statement is correct or not, and check whether the first statement is correct. Okay, so that means it is giving to the next generation. So second statement, it is thread-like structures located inside the nucleus of an animal cells. Okay, chromosomes are thread-like structures located in the nucleus of the animal cell. Then coming to the third statement, what is the third statement? Always exist in pairs in human reproductive cells. Okay, in reproductive cells they are in pairs. Is that in their pairs? No, they won't be in pairs. Okay. So that statement is wrong. Then it is involved in the process of cell division. Let's see these 2 statements. Okay. So if you compare these 2 statements, okay, if you compare these 2 statements, which statement? Second statement and fourth statement, the thread-like structures are always known as chromatin. Okay, what is this thread-like structures known as? The thread-like structures are known as chromatin. What is the thread-like structures known as? Chromatin. Okay, so that statement is also wrong. We could say that statement is also wrong. Then this one, I told you, so it's a wrong statement. Then the fourth statement, it is involved in the process of cell division. Yes, chromosomes are involved. Why? We could say, if in the case of mitosis, okay, if in the case of mitosis, cell division means it is mitosis and meiosis. You have learned in grade 9, then I think it is in the cell chapter, it is in the cell chapter itself. Okay, so if we discuss about cell division, if you consider one particular cell, okay, that is mitosis. In the case of mitosis, one cell, if it is having 2 chromosomes, okay, that is a pair of chromosomes. If it is having a pair of chromosomes, when it is dividing, okay, after division, the cell is divided into 2 cells. Okay, one cell it is divided into 2 cells where it is having the same number of chromosomes. Okay, where it has the same number of chromosomes. Okay, where it has the same number of chromosomes. This is cell division. Okay, and this is mitosis. And whereas in the case of meiosis, you could say, or we could say, one cell. Okay, one particular cell. It is divided into how many cells? It is divided into 4 cells. Okay, it is divided into how many cells? It is divided into 4 cells. Okay, and what is the speciality of these 4 cells? These 4 cells will be carrying, okay, this one cell, if it is containing, let's say 16 number of chromosome, if this is the cell produced, okay, if this is the cell produced, how many chromosome will be there? 8 number of chromosome will be there, okay, 8 number of chromosome will be there. So we can say chromosomes are involved in the process of cell division. So what are the different statements that is very accurate? We could say the answer is 1 and 4. What is the answer? The answer is 1 and 4. Okay, the answer is 1 and 4. Is it clear? Is it clear? So can I move to the next part? Can I move to the next part? Yes, okay, fine. So the next question, what is the next question given? The The next question given is, in a nerve cell, the site where the electrical impulse is converted into a chemical signal is known as axon, dendrite, neuromuscular junction and cell body. Okay, so what is this question? This question indicates, so this question says about what is the nerve cell. So you have learned about in the second chapter, control and coordination, we discussed about the structure of a neuron. Okay, so what is the different part of the neuron? The different parts of the neuron includes the axonites or dendrites, not axonites. From the first part, we could say that it is dendrites. The next part, it is cytoplasm or cell body. Then inside the cell body, we can say that there is a nucleus, and then moving to the next part, that is axon. From axon, it is having the axon end or axon terminal where the synapse is present. Okay, the next page is the synapse. Okay, so these are the different regions of the nerve cell. You know the structure of nerve cells too. So what is the site where the electrical impulse is converted into a chemical signal? It is not the axon region. You know that it is not the axon region, right? So what we could say, it is not the axon region. Axon is the long part, long tubular structure, right? Long structure of the neuron, it is known as the axon. So we could say it is not the axon. Okay, it is not the axon. So what is the next part? What is the next part? The next part is dendrite. They are discussing about the dendrite. So if we could draw the structure, let's draw the structure of a neuron roughly. Okay, so this is the region of axon, and axon has the terminal. Axon has the axon terminal. Okay, so these are the different, oh, it's not coming, let's see. Okay, so fine. So these are the different parts where we could say there is dendrite region. Okay. Okay, so these are the different region where we could say this is the dendrite. Okay, this is the dendrite region. And what is this? This is the axon. Okay, this is the axon terminal. Okay, this is the axon terminal, and this region, it is the cell soma. We could say that is soma. Okay, and or soma, or we could say it is cytosol. Okay, and this is the nucleus. Okay, so what is the question given here? In the question, it is clearly asking about the site where electrical impulse is converted into chemical signal. Okay, so after here we have a neuromuscular junction too, or we could say there is a synapse between the next alternate or next consecutive. If we consider two consecutive neurons, there is a space in between the two neurons, and that space is known as synapse. Okay, so that is impulse is actually electrical impulse is actually converted into a chemical signal. It is not in the axon. Axon actually the impulse is moving on. Okay, in the case of axon, what happens? In the case of axon, the signals. Okay, what signals? The electrical signals. Okay, electrical signals are passed. Electrical signals are passed to the next neuron. This next neuron or towards the axon terminal is done by axon. The dendrite, it is the receiving. What do it does? It receives the electrical signals. Okay, or chemical signal is converted into electrical signal in the dendrites. Okay, cell body also pass the signal. Okay, pass the signal to where? Pass the signal to axon. Okay, so these are the different functions of these regions. So what is the correct answer given? The correct answer here is neuromuscular junction. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is neuromuscular junction. Okay, so this is all about this question. So next question, it is asking about identify the food chain in which the organism of second trophic level are missing. Okay, identify the food chain in which the organism of the second trophic level are missing. So you know about the different trophic level, right? So what are the different trophic levels? The different layers. Okay, the different trophic layers we could say that it is producers. Okay, producers. Okay, then next we have primary consumers. Okay, primary consumers. Then we have secondary consumers. Okay, secondary consumers, and we have tertiary consumers. Okay, we have tertiary consumers. So generally producers, what are generally producers? Generally producers are plants. Okay, generally producers are considered to be plants. Okay, then consumers, primary consumers. What is primary consumers, or who are primary consumers? Who are primary consumers? The primary consumers are generally, or we could say they are the herbivores. Okay, herbivores. Okay, then next one, secondary consumers, they are carnivores. Okay, carnivores, and here they are top carnivores. Okay, here you have to apply the 10% energy rule also. Like the 10% of energy will be moving to the next trophic level. Only the 10%, only the 10% which is produced will be moving into the next level. Okay, so these are the different trophic levels. It starts from producers. Okay, producers, then consumers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers is there, where producers are the plants, primary consumers are the herbivores, secondary consumers are the carnivores, and tertiary consumers are top carnivores. This you have to keep in mind whenever the question is asking about what? About the trophic level. Okay, so next you read the question properly. That is, here it is given as identify the food chain in which organism of second trophic level are missing. Okay, that is the question. So what are the different answers given or options given here? Grass is given, goat is given, lion is given. That is the first option. Okay, fine. Grass is the primary consumer or producers. Goat is, of course, the goat is there. Then lion goes to the carnivores. Okay, so it has a proper, what we could say, food chain is there. Okay, then next one, zooplankton, phytoplankton, small fish, large fish. That also goes with the trophic level, different trophic levels. Okay, so fine. Then next one, tiger grass snake frog. Tiger grass snake frog. It is not a possible. It is not at all possible. Okay, so we could say that is also. It's something is missing there. Okay, so next you see grasshopper, grass, snake, frog, eagle. Okay, that is also fine. If we take, then we can say that we could arrange it. Okay, so the correct option here is, what is the correct option here? C is the correct option. Okay, C is the correct option. So that is it. There we can see the second trophic level is, if we arrange also, we could say that grass is there. Grasses they are directly taken by frog. No, grasses are taken by grasshopper, then by frog, then by snake. Then snake is taken by the tiger. No, it's also not possible. So that trophic level somewhere it is missing. Okay, second trophic level is missing there. So next we could say, we will moving to the next question. What is the next question? In which of the following organism multiple fission is a means of asexual mode of reproduction? Okay, in which of the following, what is the question? Listen to the question. In which of the following multiple fission is a means of asexual mode of reproduction? Dear students, you have studied the different mode of reproduction, asexual mode of reproduction. In different asexual mode of reproduction, we have discussed about the fission. Okay, or we can say, fission. Let's discuss about fission only. Okay, so what is fission? If one body is there, if one, like a cell division itself, if one body is there, that is divided into two. Okay, it is divided into two. This is actually the fission. So in the case of fission, we have two types of fission. How many types we have studied? We have studied two types. What is the first type? In the first type, we have studied about binary fission. Okay, binary fission. Okay, binary fission. Okay, so in the second type it is multiple fission. Okay, multiple fission. What is multiple fission? One body is there and one nuclei will be there. First the nuclei will be repeatedly divided, then the nuclei, after the division of the nucleus, the cell will be also divided, and that result into the formation of different individual cells. Okay, or that as it is divided or formed into a one particular organism. So that is about the fissions. Okay, so here what is given, in which of the following organism multiple fission is a means of asexual mode of reproduction? That is the question, and the option given here is yeast. In the case of yeast it is not possible. We could say budding is possible. Okay, then next one, leishmania. Okay, leishmania, it is, yes, of course, fission is possible, but it is not that multiple fission. What kind of fission it is? It is binary fission, so that is also the not correct answer. Then paramecium, paramecium is also not possible for this multiple fission. The correct answer, the accurate answer for division. Okay, what division? Multiple division is plasmodium. So what is the correct answer? Plasmodium is the correct answer in the case of multiple fission. Example for multiple fission, it is plasmodium. Okay, example is plasmodium. So that is also clear, right? So next question, moving to the next question, see which one of the following statement is a not true. That is the question given here. Okay, so fine, just read the question, Okay, so fine. So which of the following statement is not true? DNA carries the information for inheritance of features from parents to the next generation. That is true statement. Okay, it obviously carries the information from parents to the next generation. Okay, so what is the second statement? DNA is the information source of making protein. Okay, that is the second statement given here. Then third statement, change in the information leads to different protein. Then fourth statement, the features will remain the same if the protein changes. Okay, so you have to understand about how the genetic makeup is. Okay, so when we are discussing about DNA, you will be learning about RNA also. What is DNA? DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, where you have learned RNA is the ribonucleic acid. Okay, so when it comes to DNA and RNA, the DNA is responsible for the production of different types of proteins. Okay, so if there is any change in the slight change in the DNA, that could lead to the destruction, or that could lead to the mutation process, and which way we can say the entire genetic or the entire protein system or the entire protein formation is disturbed. Okay, so the first statement, it goes right, that is DNA carries the information for inheritance of features from parents to the next generation. So what is the second statement? That goes right. Okay, so the second statement, DNA is the information source for making proteins. Okay, that is also correct answer. Okay, for what is the genetic source, or what is the source for the preparation of protein? That is of course the DNA. Then third statement, change in the information leads to the different protein. Okay, so that is also fine. When if there is any change in information in DNA, that leads to the different proteins. Okay, so next statement, what is the next statement? This is very crucial. You have to learn. Features will remain the same if the protein changes. No, if protein is changed, the actual shape will be also changed. Okay, or the actual result will be also changed. So that statement doesn't go or doesn't suit with this. So we could say the answer is D. Okay, which one of the following statement is not true? Other three statements are correct, whereas the statement D is false. Okay, fine, clear. Can I move to the next question? Yes. Okay, so give me some files. That file will lead me to give more questions to you people. Okay, so fine. So what is the next question? Which of the following organ is not a part of human female reproductive system? So very easy, right? So ovary is given, uterus is given, vas deferens is given, fallopian tube is given. Okay, so what is the answer for this question? What is the answer for this question? The answer for this question is obviously it will be the vas deferens. It is present in males. Okay, those who doesn't know this answer, you won't be getting a pass mark in the exam, board exam. Okay, so dear students, when it comes to the question, you have to read the question, then listen, or you thoroughly read it for 2 or 3 times very fast. Okay, and then pick the answer and write it don't write the answers, okay? And also make sure that you are writing the question papers when you are attempting the different questions. That is very important. And last week also a few students have made a mistake only because of this, okay? That they lost the mark only because of that. What we could say, like they didn't attempt, they did write the answers, but they didn't write the question number properly. So it is very important to write the question number very properly in your answer sheet, and then you can write the answer. Okay, when it comes to the multiple choice question, you can first write the option, then you can, if you want, you can write the answers too. Okay, so that is the system for the MCQs, where you have to properly write the question number and then option, and then you have to mark the answer. Okay, so that is very mandatory. When if it is anything is going wrong, you will lose the marks. Okay, so very important. You have to grab 30 out of 30 when you are getting the question paper. You should feel happy, okay, after getting the question paper. Be proud that you are already prepared for all the different particular parts of this biology, and you will get 30 or 30. Okay, so let it be there. We'll be moving to the next question. Okay, so fine. So what is this question? A plant growth inhibitor hormone which causes wilting of leaf is called. Okay, wilting of leaf. Okay, it is moving out of the plant. Okay, so that is actually done by which hormone? Okay, which hormone? We have different 4 options. What is that? Auxin. Auxin is a promoting hormone. Okay, growth promoting hormone. It is not growth inhibiting hormone. Cytokinin is also, we could say, that is also a growth promoting hormone. Then gibberellin, it increases the size, length of the shoot. That we could say that it is also a growth promoting hormone. Okay, so next option when it comes to C, it is abscisic acid. It is clearly, you know that clearly that they are growth inhibitors. Okay, so what is the answer here? A plant growth inhibitor hormone which causes wilting of leaf is called. Okay, so what is the answer? The answer is abscisic acid. What is the answer? Abscisic acid is the answer. Okay, so fine, we'll be moving to the next question. So what is the next question? This is the next question. The plants that can be raised by the method of vegetative propagation. Okay, the plants that can be raised by method of vegetative propagation are sugarcane, roses, grapes, sugarcane, mustard, potato, banana, orange, mustard, then papaya, mustard and potato. So the most appropriate answer for this question is option A. Okay, so what is option A? In option A, we could say that sugarcane, roses and grapes can be raised by different methods of vegetative propagation. So you know vegetative propagation, right? It can be done with the help of a leaf, it can be done with the help of a stem, or even with a root. Okay, so these propagations will give an exact copy of that of the parent. Okay, exact similar copy of that of parent will be given to the child when it comes to the vegetative propagation. There is no much variation in the vegetative propagation, but whereas if you consider in the sexual mode of reproduction, there involves 2 different parents, right? There involves 2 different parents, and that leads to the variation too. Okay, that leads to the, when the gametes are produced, it is produced inside the 2 different individuals, and the gametes combine together and produces a new progeny. Okay, so that 2 combination is working out, where we could say there is a more chance of what? Variation. Okay, clear, fine. So can we move to the next question? What is the next question? The next question is the part of seed which is a source of food during germination of seed. Okay, so the part of seed which provide the food. Okay, it is not about the plumule or radicle or anything else, but they are asking about how is the seed is getting the food during its germination. Okay, so how plumule, you know what is the role of plumule? What is the role of plumule? It gives the part of the, which part of the plant? Shoot. Okay, it gives rise to the shoot part of the plant. Whereas radicle, you know what is the role of radicle, right? So what is the role of radicle? Radicle, it is actually for the formation of roots. Okay, it is for the formation of roots. Okay, so next 2 options are cotyledons, and also one more option, the last option, it is embryo. So we can see all these structures inside the embryo. Where you can find the structures, these structures can be found only in the embryo. So we can say what the embryo is also not the correct answer. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer here is A, cotyledon. What is the correct answer? Cotyledon. So we could say cotyledon is the part where it nourishes the nourishes the seed during the germination of the seed. Okay, fine, clear. Embryo give rise to a full plant itself. Okay, so now that's it. So next one, it is about, this is the next question. Read the next question. Okay, so what is this question? This question is about some wastes are given below. Okay, some wastes are given below. What are the different wastes? Okay, given below. And this waste is, garden waste is there, ballpoint pen refills is there, empty medicine bottle made of glass is there, peels of fruit and vegetables is there, old cotton shirt is there. Okay, these are the different waste materials. And what is the question given? The non-biodegradable waste among these are, what is the difference between biodegradable and non-biodegradable? Okay, the molecules or the things which can be degraded in the soil, we could say that they are biodegradable substances. Okay, what are non-biodegradable substances? The substances which are not degradable. Okay, which is not going into the soil and take out the nutrients from the diet, or that classification of compounds are or substances are known as non-biodegradable substance or waste. Okay, see here we could see the garden waste. What is the role of garden waste here? The garden waste, if you consider the garden waste, okay, the garden waste, we can consider it into as a biodegradable substance. Okay, they are biodegradable substance. Okay. So when it comes to the second one, they are non-biodegradable. Okay, then third one, empty medicine bottles made of glass. Okay, that they are also non-biodegradable. Okay, non-biodegradable substance. Then peels of fruits and vegetables, they are biodegradable substance. Okay, biodegradable substance. Okay, then old cotton shirt, they are also biodegradable substance. Okay, so these are the list. We could say that, or can classify or categorize as biodegradable or non-biodegradable substances. Okay, so the non-biodegradable waste among these are, the question is as such, non-biodegradable waste. What are the non-biodegradable waste? It is 2 and 3. Okay, so 2 and 3 is the correct option for this question. Okay, is it clear? So can I move to the next question? Okay, fine. So next question, what is the next question saying about? The next question is saying about the different parts of the heart and the different parts of the or how the circulation is going on. So before reading into the question, we could understand, we will just revise what are the different parts of the heart through a diagrammatic representation. Okay, so let's consider this as the part of hearts. Okay, how many chambers it has? It has 4 different chambers. First chamber, let's say this is the second chamber, let's say this is the third chamber, and let's say this is the fourth chamber. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the different chambers present here? The different chambers present here is a right atrium, okay, then a left atrium. Okay, right atrium and left atrium. Then here, right ventricle and left ventricle. Okay, so here you have to understand the blood is coming and collected into right atrium. Towards which region it is coming and collected? It is collected in the right atrium. Okay, the blood is coming and collected into right atrium. And which is the vessel which is taking the into it? These are vena cavas, what we call superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Okay, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Okay, so from there the blood is moving into the next region through a cuspid valve. Okay, what is this valve known as? This valve is known as tricuspid valve. What valve it is? Tricuspid. Okay, tricuspid valve. What valve? Tricuspid valve. Okay, so through tricuspid valve the blood reaches into right ventricle. Where it reaches? It reaches into right ventricle. Okay, so from right ventricle, it moves to the lungs. Okay, from right ventricle, let's say it moves to the lungs. Okay, moves to the lungs. Okay, so what is this known as? What is this known as? This is known as pulmonary artery. So we could say pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so the different part from inferior or through superior and inferior vena cava, the deoxygenated blood enters into right atrium. From right atrium, it has a tricuspid valve, okay, in between right atrium and right ventricle. So when the blood is filled in right atrium, when it gets contracted, it is pushed into right ventricle. Okay, so from right ventricle, when right ventricle is filled, it also gets contracted, and then from the right ventricle, the blood moves to the lungs. Okay, so next one is very important, from the lungs. Okay, so from the lungs, what happens? From the lungs, it moves to the next part, next region. What is the next region? Left. Okay, it moves to the left atrium. It moves to the left atrium. Okay, so if you consider this left atrium, if you consider this left atrium, so what is this? This is this is pulmonary. Okay, pulmonary vein. We could say pulmonary vein. After oxygenation, we could say pulmonary vein is the only vein which carries the oxygenated blood. Okay, or it carries the oxygenated blood. Okay, usually veins, what is the role of veins? Veins carries the deoxygenated blood. Okay, but if there is an exception in the case, what is that exception known to be? They are known to be the pulmonary vein. Why they are known as, why they have been segregated into an exception? That is because they carries only the oxygenated blood. Okay, so fine. So now where the blood enters into the left atrium. From left atrium, it then moves to the next region. What is the next region? The next region is, there is a valve between left atrium and left ventricle, and that valve is known as, what is that valve known as? That valve, what is that valve known as? What that valve is known as? Okay, that valve is known as bicuspid valve. Okay, what is that valve known as? The valve is known as bicuspid valve. Okay, what is the valve known as? The valve is known as bicuspid valve. Okay, repeat it again, bicuspid valve. Okay, so from bicuspid valve, it reaches into left ventricle. From left ventricle, it moves to the different parts of the different parts of the body. It enters into different parts of body, and what is this known as? This is known as aorta. Okay, what it is known as? Aorta, and through aorta it moves to different parts of body. Okay, different parts of body. So I can mark here to red color how the blood is moving. Okay, so this is the blood. This is the pathway of the blood where it enters into the right atrium. Okay, where it enters into the right atrium, then it moves to the right ventricle. Okay, moves to the right ventricle. Then from right ventricle, it moves to the next region, that is pulmonary artery. Okay, pulmonary artery, exchange takes place. Okay, what exchange? Gaseous exchange takes place. From gaseous exchange, after gaseous exchange, it is given to the next region. What is the next region? What is the next region? Pulmonary. What is the next region? Pulmonary vein is the next part. It reaches into left atrium. It reaches into left atrium. From left atrium, it reaches into the left ventricle. From left ventricle, it reaches to the different parts of the body. Okay, so different parts of the body. So it will be easy for you if you understand how it is moving. And we call this process as double circulation too. What is this process known as? This process, or the entire process of this is known as double circulation. So why they are known as double circulation, or why the circulation inside the heart is known as double circulation? Because in heart it took 2 times, blood enters into the heart for how many times? 2 times. That's why we call it as double circulation. Okay, so fine. See here, from inferior and superior vena cava is there. From there, the deoxygenated blood is there. It reaches into right atrium, then it moves to the next ventricle. What is the next ventricle? It moves to right ventricle. From right ventricle, it moves to the lungs. From lungs, it moves to the left atrium. From left atrium, it moves to the left ventricle. Then from left ventricle to different parts of the body. I think you got it. Okay. Did you get it? Did you get it? Okay, so Dvitiya, it is bicuspid valve. Okay, where the bicuspid valve is present, it is between the left atrium and left ventricle. Okay, it is between the left atrium and left ventricle. This is very simple diagram where you can understand the pathway. Okay, very simple diagram. So you have to study this. This is very important. Okay, so next we will go back to the question. Let's see what is the question given here. Okay, so write the question and give the answer. Okay, so what is, Dviti, can you read the question and then you can answer it. Okay, so which of the following statements are true about human heart? Okay, so if you are not studying this, you can't answer this. Okay, so make it in a small diagram and study. So what is the question given here? The question given here is right atrium receives oxygenated blood from lungs through pulmonary artery. That is the question A. Then B, what is the B part? Left atrium transfers oxygenated blood to left ventricle, which send it to various parts of the part. Okay, with various parts of the body part. Then next one, see what is the next one? Right atrium receives deoxygenated blood through vena cava from upper and lower body. Then option D, left atrium transfers oxygenated blood to aorta, which sends it to different parts of the body. Okay, so what is the answer here? After reading the question, you can give the answer. Okay, so what is the answer here? Right atrium receives oxygenated blood from lungs through pulmonary artery. Is that statement correct? No. How does right atrium receives the oxygenated blood? Does it receives the oxygenated blood to right atrium? No. Okay, so that statement is wrong. Left atrium transfers oxygenated blood to left ventricle, which sends it to various parts of the body. Yeah, fine. We can say that is a correct statement. Left atrium transfers the oxygenated blood to left ventricle, then it moves to the different parts of the body. Right atrium receives deoxygenated blood through vena cava from upper and lower body. So this statement is also correct. So the last statement, let's see the last statement. Left atrium, okay, right and left atrium transfers oxygenated blood to aorta, which sends to the different part of the body. Okay, so actually when it goes to aorta from left ventricle only, it moves to the aorta, then it goes to the different parts of the body. So the most accurate one, we could say that is B and C is the correct answer. What is the correct answer? B and C is the correct answer. Okay, so if you want to do this question, it is very clear that you have to study this. Okay, you have to learn this very properly. Okay, so this next question, we are moving to the next question. Okay, so please read the question. Please read the question. So what is this question given? The question, yeah, Dviti, very good, very good. B and C is the correct answer. Okay, so fine. The next question given here is select out the following a gland which does not occur in pair in human body. Okay, this is about the location. You have to understand the location of the different glands present in our body. So what are the different parts or what are the different glands present in our body? It is like we could say that its pituitary gland is there, ovary is there, testis is there, adrenal. These are the four different gland which is given here. Okay, so what is the answer here? So considering ovary, you know ovary is in pairs. Okay, there are two ovaries, right? So if you consider ovary, one is on the right side and one is on the left side. Okay, so that is actually in pairs. So that is a not according to the question, it is not correct. Okay, it occurs in pairs. Okay, so next one, testis also occurs in pairs. Then third one, adrenal gland. You know the kidney, the position of kidney, right? So the kidney, yeah, kidney, you know, and on the top of the kidney you can find the gland. So next one, it is pituitary gland. Okay, so pituitary gland is the only one gland where we can say it does not occurs in pair. Okay, so that is option. What is the correct option? A is the correct option. Okay, what is the correct option? A is the correct option. Okay, so fine. The next question, what is the next question? Identify the mode of asexual reproduction in the following organisms. Okay, identify the asexual mode of reproduction. So whenever it is coming in this diagram is clearly given in your textbook, so you can easily identify the answer, right? So what are the options given here? Fragmentation is given here, then budding is given here, multiple fission is given here, binary fission is given here. Okay, so what is the correct answer for this question? What is the correct answer for this question? See, budding is the correct answer. So budding it takes place in, what is this organism known as? This organism is known as Hydra. Okay, what is this organism known as? This organism is known as Hydra. So okay, so budding in Hydra is the correct answer. So we could go for option C. What is the option? Option C is the correct answer. Okay, Hydra, budding in Hydra. Okay, so you already know what is the example for multiple fission. Multiple fission, we could say that the option is, or the example is Plasmodium. Okay, then binary fission, we have two different types of binary fission. One is normal binary fission and then transverse binary fission, right? Fission takes place in amoeba. Okay, in amoeba it takes place, fission is the one. Then next one, in the case of transverse binary fission, where you can see the organism like this. Okay, so what is this organism where it has the two flagellas? Okay, so what is the answer? That is this organism. What is the name of this organism? Leishmania. Okay, so binary fission, two types of binary fission is there. One is normal binary fission, where you can see the example is amoeba. Okay, what is the example? The example is amoeba. In the case of transverse binary fission, we could say that it is Leishmania. Okay, clear? So what is the option for this question? Correct option here is budding. Okay, budding. Bud, what is bud? Bud is a small protuberance. Okay, so next question. What is the next question? In the given diagram, the leaf belongs to which plant? Okay, so which plant is this? This is actually coming under vegetative reproduction. If you look in the textbook, it comes in vegetative reproduction. Okay, so vegetative reproduction, you know, the different parts of the plant is taken and it is then propagated to different levels. Okay, so we can say this plants, different parts. What are the different parts? We could say leaf is taken, then stem is taken, then root is taken. Okay, all three different parts is taken for the propagation. And when it comes to the leaf, okay, if you consider the leaf, what we could say, or what we can say the answer as, the different options here is hibiscus, money plant, mustard and bryophyllum. Okay, in the textbook it is saying about the leaf propagation is only through, or among these different options we can see the leaf propagation is done by which one? Bryophyllum. So what is the correct option here? The correct option here is, you are not giving the answer. Okay, so what is the answer for this question? This question's answer is bryophyllum. So we can say bryophyllum is for vegetative propagation. Leaf, okay, vegetative propagation. Okay, which part is taken? Propagation. Which part is taken? Which part of the plant is taken for the propagation? That is leaf. Okay, it is leaf. Leaf is taken for the propagation of the plant. Okay, fine, very good. Okay, so the answer is bryophyllum. Okay, then what is the next question given here? The next question given here is, a cross made between two pea plants produce 50% tall and 50% short pea plant. Okay, the cross which is produced, or the cross which says is about 50% is tall and 50% is dwarf. Okay, it is given as short. You should know the short and dwarf is same. Okay, short and dwarf is actually similar. Okay, then next you see the gene combination of the parental pea plant must be. What is the gene combination of the parental plant? What is the gene combination? So read the question, we can solve this answer. See, let's say first one, what is the first? We can check with options. What is the first option? Capital T, small t, it is crossed with capital T and small t. So what will the gametes produce? Capital T is one gamete, small t is one gamete, capital T is another gamete, small t is another gamete. Okay, so the possibility is capital T and capital T. Okay, then there is a possibility of capital T, small t. Then again we have a possibility of capital T, small t. And then there is a possibility of small t, small t. Okay, so these are the different possibilities for A, option A. So next option, what is the next option? Option B, capital T, it is crossed with capital T and small t. Okay, so here what is the option? Capital T is the only one possible gamete. Here capital T is one possible gamete and small t is another possible gamete. Okay, so what are the result? When capital T and capital T combines together, it forms the tall plant. Okay, when it gives with, or it forms, it combines with a small t, we'll get the result as capital T and small t. Okay, so when it comes here in the option A, if it comes here, we could say they are tall plants. Okay, what they are? They are tall plants. Here also, since T is the what we could say dominant trait, since T is present, we can say they are the tall plants. They are also tall plants. They are dwarf plants or short plants. Okay, in this case, capital T is tall, and here this one is also tall. Okay, then next third option, it is capital T. Okay, option C, what is capital T? Small t is crossed with small t, small t. Okay, so what are the possible gametes? Capital T is one possible gamete, small t is another possible gamete, and again small t is another possible gamete. So the produced one will be capital T, small t, and also small t, small t. That means this is a tall plant, okay, and this is a dwarf plant. Okay, this is a dwarf plant. Okay, so this is a dwarf plant. Okay, then next one you see the what is the D option? D option, it is capital T, it is crossed with small t, small t. Okay, so if you consider this one, capital T is only possible one, small t is the only possible one, the only possible progeny produced here will be tall plant. So we can say according to the question, okay, according to the question, what is the question given here? A cross made between two pea plants produces 50% of tall and 50% of short. Here we can say the ratio is different, much different, that is the ratio is 3:1. Okay, the tall and dwarf ratio is 3:1. Here only the tall plants are produced. We can say 100% are produced, or 100% of plant produced are tall. Okay, in the third case we could clearly say that it is 50% is tall and 50% is dwarf. In the fourth case 100% is tall. Okay, so what is the answer here? The answer here is option C. What is the correct option? What is the correct option? The correct option is C. Okay, you have to check, cross check whether it is correct or not when you are writing the answer. Very good, Dudi, very good. The correct answer is C. Okay, then next option, next question. What is the next question? It is about assertion reason. I didn't mention about the different options in assertion reasoning. First, I will mention what are the different answers or answers in assertion or different options. The first option is both the assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation for A. Okay, then second option, A and R are true and R is not correct explanation for assertion. The third option, A is true and R is false, and fourth option is A is false and R is false. Okay, so these are the different statements of assertion, and you have to understand this. Okay, so next we have to read the question and move to the next answers. Try out to read the questions. Please do it. Please do it. Okay, so we can read the question here. So what is the question here? Human female has a perfect pair of sex chromosome. Yes, it has a perfect pair of chromosome, sex chromosome. It is clear, right? What is the perfect pair of chromosome? It is X chromosome and X chromosome. They have a perfect pair of chromosome. The reason given here is X chromosome contributed by the male, human male in the zygote decide the sex of the child. Yes, of course. The child of the sex of the child is always determined by what? It is determined by the father. Okay, or we can say it is determined by the male. Okay, since XY is the chromosome for male. Okay, if in the case of male, XY is the chromosome. So we can say, since XY is the chromosome, we can say what we can say, XY is the chromosome, the sex of the child is male. Okay, XX it is female, XX it is female, and XY it is male. Okay, so let's consider the two cases. Both the statements are correct. Okay, both the statements are correct, but we cannot say A is the or R is the correct explanation for assertion A. Okay, clear? So what is the next question given? Okay, this is also a very easy question where it is given as direct statement. Okay, so in the human beings, the heart, it's about heart. The heart ventricles have thicker muscular walls than atria. Yes, of course it has, right? It has to pump to the different parts of the body. Okay, it has to pump to the different parts of the body. Since it has to pump to the different parts of the body, it has a strong walls than the atria. Okay, and from atria to ventricle, we can say there is a small or less distance. It is a very short distance, right, from atria to ventricle. But from ventricle to different parts of the body, it is a very long distance. Okay, so from ventricle, from right ventricle it moves to the lungs. From left ventricle, from lungs it moves to the next part. From left ventricle it moves to the different parts of the body. Okay, so it has to be have a thick wall to maintain the pressure. So next one, reason, what is the reason here? Ventricle have to pump the blood into various organs. Yes, correct. Okay, so we can say both assertion and reason is correct, and R is a correct explanation for A. Okay, clear? Moving to the next question. What is the next question? Oxygen is essential for all aerobic forms of life. Is the statement correct? Oxygen is essential for all aerobic forms of life. Yes, of course. For aerobic respiration, if aerobic respiration has to be done, we could say that this is very essential. Oxygen is very essential for aerobic form of life. Okay. Second, what is the second statement? That is reason given here. The reason given here is free oxygen atom combines with the molecular oxygen to form ozone. Okay. So what is given here? What is given here? The free oxygen atoms combine with the molecular oxygen to form ozone. That is also clear. That statement also correct, right? So we can say oxygen when it combines with molecular oxygen, then we can say O3 is formed. And what is this O3? Ozone. But there is no relationship between the first statement and the second statement, right? So we can say the statement A is correct and the statement B is also correct, but it is not the correct explanation for the last one. That means it is not correct explanation for what this assertion. Okay, so is that clear for you? Is that clear for you? Okay, fine. So what is the next question given? What is the next question given? Okay, fine. So the rate of breathing in aquatic organism is much faster than in terrestrial organism. This is a very important point, where you have to understand that the terrestrial organism, they take oxygen. How they are taking the oxygen? They are taking the oxygen in the form of dissolved oxygen in water. Okay, dissolved oxygen in water. So the dissolved oxygen, to get the dissolved oxygen much more, they need to breathe fastly. So the first statement is correct. Okay, then second reason, what is the reason given here? The amount of oxygen dissolved in water is very high as compared to the amount of oxygen in air. Okay, so both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation for A. Okay, so that statement also, it is very important to note down. Okay, so next we are moving to the next part of this state. We have discussed all 2024 questions, that means MCQs. Okay, so next we are moving to the next part. Okay, second 2-mark question and 3-mark question and 5-mark question will be discussed in the upcoming sessions. So stay tuned with us to get more contents. Okay, not only bio, chemistry, physics, maths, every subjects are going on, or you can take that free content from our YouTube classes. Okay, so study well, prepare well for the examinations. Next part we will be discussing about the upcoming portion, that is 2024 2-mark question and 3-mark question will be discussed in the next section. Until we meet again, see you, bye bye.